Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Grandma's Tales. I'm Ellie Hayes, but you can call me Ellie, like my old friends do. I'm sitting here in my cozy living room in Willow Creek, Texas, with a cup of hot tea and a story that's close to my heart. If you're new here, this channel is all about sharing real life, lessons from us folks who've seen a few more sunrises than most. Today, I'm telling you a tale that's part inspiration, part cautionary warning. It's about family, betrayal, and finding strength when you think you've got none left. Grab a seat, maybe your own cup of something warm, and let's dive in. And remember, at the end, drop in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing how far these stories travel. It all started on a dusty summer morning in Willow Creek, a speck of a town, where the biggest news is usually who's winning the chili cook-off at the county fair. I was 68, widowed for 5 years since my Henry passed from that down heart condition. We'd built our life on the Hayes Ranch, 200 acres of rolling hills, cattle pastures, and that old barn where Henry proposed to me under a harvest moon. The ranch wasn't just land. It was our legacy, passed down from Henry's great-grandpa who staked it during the oil boom days. After Henry died, I managed okay at first. My Social Security and his pension kept the lights on, and I rented out some pastures to neighboring farmers. But loneliness creeps in slow, like fog over the creek. My only family left was my nephew, Travis, my sister's boy. He was 42, slick as oil with a smile that could sell ice to Eskimos. Travis lived in Dallas, working some fancy real estate job. But he'd visit now and then, always with big ideas about modernizing the ranch. "Mama Ellie," he'd say. He called me that even though I wasn't his mama, you shouldn't be out here alone. What if you fall? What if you forget to lock up? I'd laugh it off. Forget? Me? I could recite every cattle brand on the ranch from memory. But then the little things started. I'd misplace my glasses, or I'd swear I paid the electric bill but find a late notice. Travis started handling my checks. Just to help, Aunt Ellie. You focus on resting. Soon, he convinced the town doc, old Dr. Harlan, that I was showing signs of Alzheimer's. She's repeating stories. Travis told him, well, who doesn't repeat a good yarn? The community bought it hook, line, and sinker. Willow Creek's a place where folks gossip over pie at the diner. Poor Ellie Hayes, they'd whisper, losing her marbles like her Aunt Gertie did. I felt it, the pitying looks at the grocery store, the way neighbors stopped inviting me to bridge night. One day, Travis showed up with papers. It's for your own good, Aunt Ellie. This nursing home in Abilene is top-notch. They'll take care of you. Shady Pines, it was called. Sounded more like a prison than a home. I protested, but Travis had power of attorney, something I'd signed months back during one of my confused spells, or so he said. 2 burly orderlies loaded me into a van. And just like that, my ranch keys were in Travis's hands. Shady Pines was a nightmare. Fluorescent lights buzzing like angry bees, rooms smelling of bleach and despair. My roommate, Mabel, muttered about conspiracies all night. Meals were mushy and tasteless. But worst was the isolation. No phone calls without supervision. No visitors unless approved. Travis came once, all smiles. Selling off a few acres to pay for your care, Aunt Ellie. Don't worry. It's temporary. Temporary, my foot. I knew something was rotten. Henry's will left everything to me, with Travis as executor only if I was incapacitated. But I wasn't. I started piecing it together. Those forgotten bills were. Travis forging my signature, draining my accounts. He'd been selling ranch land bit by bit to developers, pocketing the cash while painting me as senile. I had to escape. But how? That's when fate, or maybe Henry from above, stepped in. During rec time in the garden, I spotted a familiar face volunteering. Jack Thornton, my high school sweetheart. We'd dated before Henry swept me off my feet. Jack was 70 now, widowed himself, with silver hair and that same twinkle in his eye. He ran a hardware store in town but volunteered at homes like this. Ellie Hayes, is that you? He whispered during a group activity. Jack, thank God. They're keeping me here against my will. Travis is stealing the ranch. His eyes widened. I heard rumors, but Alzheimer's? You look sharp as ever. We plotted in whispers. Jack smuggled in a burner phone. I called my old bank in Willow Creek, but they stonewalled me. Travis had changed everything. We need proof, Jack said. Bank records, land deeds. 2 nights later, Jack created a diversion, a fake fire alarm from a smoke bomb in the trash. In the chaos, I slipped out a side door, heart pounding like a jackhammer. Jack waited in his pickup, engine running. We tore off into the night, heading straight for Willow Creek. Hiding at Jack's cabin on the outskirts, we dug in. Jack had a friend at the county clerk's office who owed him a favor. We got copies of recent land sales, parcels of my ranch sold to a Dallas firm for pennies on the dollar. Travis's signature everywhere, but forged checks from my account funding improvements that never happened. Embezzlement, Jack growled. And elder abuse. We need a lawyer. We found Sarah Klein, a sharp young attorney in Abilene specializing in elder law. This is textbook fraud, she said, poring over the docs. But we need ironclad proof he's forging your signature. That's when I remembered Henry's safe in the ranch house attic, old ledgers, original deeds. But how to get in? Travis lived there now. Jack grinned. I still know the back way from our sneaking around days. Under cover of darkness, we parked a mile out and hiked in. The ranch looked different, fences down, survey stakes dotting the fields. My blood boiled. We slipped through a loose board in the barn, up to the house. Travis's car was gone, probably in Dallas schmoozing buyers. The attic was dusty, cobwebs like ghosts. But the safe was there, combination unchanged, our wedding date. Inside, deeds, bank statements showing transfers to Travis's accounts. And handwriting samples, my real signature versus the forgeries. Clear as day. We photocopied everything at Jack's. Then Sarah filed an emergency injunction to freeze the sales. Travis was served papers the next day. He blew up my burner phone. Aunt Ellie, where are you? This is a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I shot back. Like how you forged my checks and sold my land. The trial was the talk of Willow Creek. Courthouse packed with neighbors. Some sheepish for believing the lies. Travis took the stand, all slick in his suit. I was protecting her. She was confused, writing bad checks herself. But Sarah demolished him. Handwriting expert testified the forgeries were his. Bank records showed millions funneled to his offshore account. Wait, millions? Turns out, under the ranch was untapped oil rights Henry never developed. Travis discovered it via surveys, planned to sell the whole shebang for a fortune. The jury deliberated 2 hours. Guilty on embezzlement, fraud, elder abuse. Sentenced to 10 years, plus restitution. I reclaimed the ranch, but it felt empty. So, I turned it into the Hayes Senior Center, classes, gardens, a place for folks like me to thrive. Not wither. Travis. Last I heard, he's appealing from prison. But me. I'm free, with Jack by my side. We are dating again, can you believe? That's my tale, friends. Check on your elders. Greed can lurk close. Like, subscribe, share your stories. This is Ellie from Grandma's Tales, signing off. Stay strong. The sun hung low over the Texas horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink that reminded Eleanor Hayes of the quilts her mother used to make. She sat on the porch swing of the old ranch house, the wood creaking under her weight like an old friend sighing. At 68, Ellie still felt the pull of the land, the way the wind whispered, through the mesquite trees, the distant lowing of cattle that weren't hers anymore, not really. The Hayes Ranch had been in the family for generations, a testament to hard work and stubborn persistence in a world that seemed to forget such things. Henry had been gone 5 years now. A heart attack took him quick, in the middle of fixing a fence post. One moment he was laughing about some joke from their youth, the next he was gone. Ellie had buried him, under the big oak where they'd carved their initials as newlyweds. The ranch was hers now, but managing it alone was like trying to hold back the tide with a broom. That's where Travis came in. Her nephew, her sister's only child. Travis Monroe, 42 years old. With a city slicker's polish and a real estate agent's charm. He started visiting more after Henry's funeral, bringing groceries, fixing leaks. Aunt Ellie, he'd say, his voice smooth as butter. You shouldn't be out here all by yourself. It's not safe. At first, Ellie appreciated it. The loneliness was a heavy blanket, smothering her in the quiet nights. Travis handled the bill sometimes, said it was to lighten her load. But then the oddities began. She'd find her checkbook misplaced, or a bill paid twice. Must be getting forgetful, Travis would chuckle, but his eyes didn't laugh. The town started whispering. Willow Creek was small, population 2,500 on a good day. News traveled faster than a prairie fire. At the diner, Mabel from the post office gave her pitying looks. Heard you're having memory troubles. Ellie. Travis mentioned it at the Rotary meeting. Memory troubles? Ellie could recite the Bible verses from her Sunday school days. Remember every brand on the cattle they'd sold over the years. But doubt crept in. She did forget her glasses once, left the stove on low another time. Was it age, or something more? Travis escalated. He brought Dr. Harlan over one afternoon. The doc, a kindly man in his 70s, poked and prodded. Some signs of cognitive decline, he said, scribbling notes. Early Alzheimer's, perhaps. Travis here says you've been repeating stories, forgetting appointments. Ellie protested. I ain't forgetting nothing. Travis, what have you been telling folks? Just looking out for you, Aunt Ellie. Family takes care of family. That night, she cried into her pillow, the first time since Henry's funeral. The ranch felt like a cage, the walls closing on a Tuesday. Travis arrived, with two men in white coats from Shady Pines Nursing Home. It's for your own good. Aunt Ellie. The doc signed off. You need professional care. The papers were there, power of attorney, medical evaluations. Ellie recognized her signature. But something looked off, the loop's a bit too perfect. I didn't sign this. She yelled, but the men were gentle yet firm, guiding her to the van like a child. The drive to Abilene was a blur of highways and tears. Shady Pines loomed like a beige fortress. Fences topped with wire that said, safety but screamed prison. Her room was shared with Agnes, a woman who talked to invisible friends. The food was institutional slop. The days a monotonous cycle of pills, TV, and bingo. Travis visited once a week at first, selling a few acres to cover your costs. Aunt Ellie. The ranch is too much for one person. His eyes shifted when she asked for details. Don't worry your head about it. But worry she did. In the quiet hours, she overheard nurses talking. That Hayes woman? Nephews turning her ranch into subdivisions. Shame, really. Subdivisions? The ranch was prime land, with potential oil beneath. Henry had surveys done years back but never pursued it, saying the land was for living, not drilling. Ellie knew then, Travis was stealing it all. Forging checks, selling pieces, convincing everyone she was incompetent to cover his tracks. She needed out. During garden time, she scanned for weaknesses, a loose fence, a blind spot in the cameras. That's when she saw him, Jack Thornton, pushing a wheelbarrow of mulch. Her high school beau, the one who got away when Henry came along. Jack was 70, fit from years running Thornton's hardware. Volunteering to give back, he said. Jack, she whispered during a group planting session. Ellie, what in tarnation are you doing here? She poured it out in hushed tones, the forgeries, the sales, the lies. Jack's face hardened. I heard the rumors, but Alzheimer's? You. Baloney. We gotta get you out. They planned over weeks. Jack smuggled a phone, hidden in a potted plant. Ellie called the bank, but Mr. Monroe handles everything now. No access. We need evidence, Jack said. Bank statements, deeds. I know a guy at the county office. The escape. Jack set off a smoke alarm with a diversionary device from his store. Chaos ensued, residents shuffling, staff panicking. Ellie slipped to the side gate Jack had unlocked earlier. Heart racing, she ran to his truck hidden in the trees. They sped away, laughter mixing with tears. Like old times, sneaking out, Jack said. At his cabin, a simple place by the creek, they hunkered down. Jack's friend at the clerk's office emailed scans. Land sales to Dallas developers. Signatures matching Travis's handwriting samples from public records. He's pocketed over $500,000 already, Jack calculated. And there's more, oil rights valued at millions if developed. Ellie felt sick. Her legacy, gone for greed. Sarah Klein's office was in a strip mall, but her reputation was gold. Elder abuse is rampant, she said, reviewing the docs. We can sue for fraud, embezzlement, but we need the smoking gun, original forgeries. The safe in the ranch attic. Ellie drew a map. Back in trance through the barn. Travis is in Dallas Tuesdays. They went at midnight. Stars blanketed the sky like diamonds. Parking off-road, they hiked, avoiding motion lights. The barn door creaked. Inside, the smell of hay and memories. Up to the house, window unlatched, as always. Attic stairs groaned. The safe, the 15th of June, 75. Their wedding. Click. Deeds, ledgers, checks. Forgeries clear, Travis's flourish on the S. They copied everything on Jack's scanner, left no trace. Back at the cabin, Sarah beamed. This is it. We'll file tomorrow. Travis called the burner. Aunt Ellie? Police are looking. Escape from care facility. Save it. Travis. I know about the forgeries, the sales. Silence. Then, you don't understand. I was helping. Helping yourself to my money. The injunction hit fast. Sales frozen. Assets seized. Willow Creek Courthouse, built in 1890, buzzed like a beehive. Neighbors packed the pews, some apologetic. We believed him, Ellie. Sorry. Travis in a suit, lawyer arguing good intentions. But Sarah was a shark. Witnesses. Bank teller saw Travis deposit forged checks. Handwriting expert. 99% match to defendant samples. The oil revelation. Surveys showing reserves worth $2 million. Travis knew, planned to flip the ranch. On the stand, Ellie shone. I raised that boy after his mama died. Gave him everything. This is how he repays. Jury out 2 hours. Guilty. Sentence, 10 years. Restitution $1.2 million. Travis wept. Aunt Ellie, forgive me. Someday, maybe. But actions have consequences. Ranch reclaimed, Ellie transformed it. The Hayes Senior Center, workshops, gardens, housing for low-income elders. Jack helped build, their romance rekindling over hammer and nails. Travis appealed, but lost. Prison taught him, or so letters said. Ellie vlogged from the center. Check on your loved ones. Greed hides in plain sight.